Avast there, mateys. Ye be approaching dangerous waters. Pirates are abounding in these here parts. Ye sailors, be aware of a pirate's fate, for ye do not want your soul condemned to the devil. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. Today we're going to be looking at Pyrates. And first up on the block is Pyrates by MPC. Now, I bought these Pyrates back in the early 90s. They're reproduction of Pyrates that were available in stores like Woolies, Woolworths, dime stores, pharmacies, and whatnot. And they came in a plastic bag with a header card. And I think they also came, there was some that were available with a ship. And they're called ring hand figures. They also made like Civil War soldiers and army men in ring hand style. It's very difficult to get original figures that still have their accessories. It's not too uncommon to find at a garage sale ring hand figures in a shoebox, but all their accessories are missing. So if you buy a reproduction lot like you see here, you can still get accessories. Now, you'll notice with these Pyrates, they all have these exaggerated gold earrings in their ears. Pyrates did wear earrings. They believed them to be good luck charms. They thought that if they wore gold earrings, it would protect them from drowning and also make their vision better at night. You'll see, too, that they have what we commonly think of as a pirate flag, but only a few pirates used a flag like this. Like Calico Jack had a flag similar to this with crossed cutlasses, but there were some pirates that used a flag like this. The black flag normally meant no quarter given. So a Spanish vessel, for instance, could fly a black flag when they were chasing pirates because that meant there's going to be no quarter given. Although I don't know why you would advertise that, because you might as well fight to the death if you know you're going to be put to death anyway. But so the earrings are not part of pirate lore. They actually wore those. Now, here's something that's a little more problematic is the does he have a parrot sitting on his shoulder? I can't actually see too well. But they did capture parrots in South America and sell them to upper class people in Europe because they were very popular due to their what do they call it? Plumage. Their feathers. Grandma used to say, if you can't pronounce it, don't say it. Anyway, a lot of the royals in Europe liked having parrots because you could teach them to talk somewhat. So it was entertaining for their guests. However, the peg legs and hooks, those are not necessarily authentic because the only person who could conceivably have such disabilities like this would be the captain. You wouldn't be able to climb the rat lines if you had a hook and a peg leg. It just is not feasible. So men who lost their legs and hands and whatnot would retire or be forced to retire due to their handicap. what else can we say about these pirates? Uh, what they're wearing seems to be okay. Now, pirates did wear fancy clothes. However, they would wear those in port. Um, Fancy clothes were in demand with pirates. They actually enjoyed wearing them, but again, it was only in port. It was not practical on board ship unless you were the captain. There is actually laws passed in Europe called sumptuary laws, where a lower class individual or peasant were forbidden to wear fancy clothes because they didn't want upper class people to confuse them with their own class as a result of their clothing. Something that was revolutionary about the 19th century is all classes of people began wearing very similar clothes. You know, the men would be wearing a black suit, for instance, and depending on the quality would indicate your rank in society or your supposed rank in society. Now, this next group that you see here is from Disney. And I tried to look up who manufactured these, but I couldn't see the name. I tried using a magnifying glass and I just couldn't make it out. The only thing I could make out was Disney, but this is from their Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And I purchased these in 2007, which is about 6 years after they made the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And you can see it's Mr. Gibbs and, of course, Captain Jack Sparrow and a couple of the uh, other sidekicks from the films. And they're pretty well painted, I think. These are nice figures. I would have liked to have seen more in this line, but the only thing I ever saw at Target was this one grouping of 4 figures. And I think it came with this cannon, but I don't remember anymore. What's cool about this cannon is it's got nice detail to it, but you can see here it's got grape shot. Grape shot is uh, round balls that are wrapped in canvas with rope. This looks like a 4-pounder gun, which would have weighed about 1,000 pounds. And here's the round shot for the gun. They called this grape shot because it looked like a bundle of grapes, so it's rather a practical description of the item. It shows them wearing sandals. Many of the sailors would wear no shoes at all. It helped they were able, because their feet were so callous, they were able to grip the ropes with their feet better than they could with shoes on. There's a treasure chest. It's a proper size because, as you know, gold is quite heavy. So you wouldn't want a chest that was too heavy for your treasures. Now, contrary to popular belief, pirates were really not known to be hoarders. They were too impatient. They would like to spend their ill gotten gains immediately. So they would go out, they would capture a ship, and then they would immediately go to a port where they could sell whatever it is they got. They were also opportunistic thieves in that they would take anything. They would take lumber, sails, uh, block and tackle, clothing, uh, rings and things from the passengers. It didn't matter. If they could turn it over quickly, they were quite happy. As far as burying a treasure somewhere, that was less common. Some of them did do that, but it was very rare. Okay, our next group is from Historical Legends, which I think is made by Unimax. Let me take a look here. Yes, these were made by Unimax. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a good focus. The automatic focus on the camera seems to be malfunctioning. Um, these are also very nicely done, as you can see here. Of course, I have to give them the hot water treatment because the swords are all bent. That's the difference between a saber and a sword, is that the saber is, I believe, curved and a sword is straight. In this case, these were intended to be swords, and the heat in storage has turned them into sabers, unintentionally on my part, of course. Now, in the 1500s and 1600s, pirates would form fleets, and they would raid cities and towns along the Spanish Main and hold the town for ransom. They would also torture people to get um, their jewels and fineries, because what the townspeople would do is, on alert that they had a pirate fleet approaching, they would hide their treasure. And of course, the pirates would torture them until they revealed the location of where their gold was. And for the poor person being tortured, it was their unfortunate luck to be caught that way. Later, pirates would concentrate more on lone ships than they would uh, sailing in fleets and attacking cities. There's one pirate by the name, I think it was Le Polonais. I can't speak French, of course, or any other language for that matter, but I think it's Le Polonais. And he was exceptionally cruel, uh, obviously quite psychotic, a sociopath, like most pirates. He was a sociopath. And he had a special hatred for Spanish people, and he would torture them just for fun. Even if he wasn't trying to get information from them, he would torture them. And he wiped out all his prisoners, and he took these two people as guides to lead them to where the next town was. And with one of them, he cut out the guy's heart and threw it in the face of the other guide. And his fate was also gruesome. He was eaten by Indians. The Indians tore him apart and they ate him. So his ending was not exactly happy either. Another famous pirate that we all know is Blackbeard, and the governor, I think, of South Carolina. He didn't want South Carolina to be known as a pirate haven, so he asked Lieutenant Maynard of the Royal Navy to track down Blackbeard in 1718, and Maynard sprung an interesting trap for Blackbeard in that he had the deck of his ship sprinkled with broken glass, and his men had sandals or shoes on, and when the pirates boarded his ship, they were cutting their feet on the broken glass. Now, Blackbeard's ending was similar to that of Rasputin when the Russian princes tried to, when I say princes, I don't mean princess, I mean several princes. It sounds like I'm saying princess. Never mind. Anyway, let's say noblemen, uh, tried to kill Rasputin. The guy just wouldn't die. They poisoned him, they shot him, they tried drowning, everything. They finally killed him, and Blackbeard was like that too. He was shot 5 times, and he was slashed by cutlasses multiple times, and the guy just was almost impossible to kill. He's not noted as the most prolific pirate or the most successful pirate, but he is known because of his cruelty and for his appearance, because he would put matches. When I mean matches, is like fuses tied into his beard, and he would set them on fire, and he looked pretty scary that way. Blackbeard attempted to go straight, and he got married, and his wife was nagging him, so he got sick of it, and he gave his wife to the crew, and they kept raping her until they killed her. And but anyway, Blackbeard met his end, and he had his head cut off and put on the bowsprit of Maynard's ship, so that when he sailed into harbor, everyone could see Blackbeard's head as a trophy. Now, there's plenty of books that you can get to learn about pirates. This one I enjoyed reading. It was a combination of books that were put out by Osprey Publication, and they combined them to form this book about pirates. It's very well illustrated and informative. There's also books for young readers that are very good, such as this one here is meant for like teen readers or younger perhaps, and it was very informative. I enjoyed that book as well. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for you for Pirates Part 1. I have some Barzo pirates that I'm going to share with you next, but that's for another video. In the meantime, you take care of yourself, be good. Don't try to steal anything from anyone. That's sociopathic behavior. We don't want you to do that. Arr. Keep a weathered eye out for boarders, and keep your powder dry. Arr. Okay, guys. If you want to know, have a good pirate read Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. You'll really enjoy it. And then watch the Disney movie. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll like it. That's it for Iggy. Thank you for getting Iggy with it. For you that have joined the Iggy Army, I want to give you my thanks. And I'll see you in the next video. Remember, we're going to be talking about Barzo pirates next. Okay? Bye.